All right, I got to level with you. I made a mistake about a year ago, and it has taken me about just as much time to figure that out and fix it. And there's a couple reasons what I messed up on or why it went wrong, and I wanted to talk about that because I think it might be relevant, especially for folks that have sales teams that are trying to implement more process in terms of how they're qualifying deals and bringing them in. Potentially, increase your deal size or increase your win rate or even just increase your sales velocity and get deals out. About a year ago, I tried to implement MEDDPICC, which is like a sales framework for my company, for Intro CRM. And it did not work at all. I think basically there's two main reasons. One, it was the wrong framework for what we're doing. And two, I didn't have any enforcement accountability, any process accountability. I think I've solved both of those. I want to talk about how, and I want to talk about how we're doing it in HubSpot. And let me just say that the way that we're solving this is, I think, the most significant tool investment that we've made since we switched over to Clay, which was over 6 months ago, and has totally changed how we build lead lists, do our prospecting. And this new tool is called SPICED. It's built by a great team, really, really knowledgeable about the HubSpot ecosystem. And the way SPICED works is, I think it helps solve the second problem that I had, which is that I didn't have any process. The first problem is I was just using the wrong framework. I think that the SPICED framework by Winning by Design is going to be a much better fit. I've been using it on some calls over the last couple weeks, and it's been going really well. Let me show you how that works in SPICED. In particular, I'm going to show you the process rules feature, and I'm also going to show you what I've been calling contextual documentation, where you can basically remind your team how something works once you've got it set up. Let me just move myself out of the way here, and I'm going to put myself up in this corner. Actually, no, I'm going to be over here. You'll see in a second why. We've got a deal here in HubSpot using it's just a test. And what I've got over here is the SPICED framework. I've got a group of properties that are custom properties for deals, and that are each of the steps in the SPICED framework: situation, pain, impact, critical event, and decision. As you're going through this process of qualifying and understanding where customers are at and whether or not you can help, you can fill out each of these points in the framework, and they've got prompt questions and ways of thinking about it. Let's say that I'm onboarding a new salesperson, or let's say like you yourself, maybe watching this video, haven't heard of SPICED before. With SPICED, I have this little contextual documentation. I can click this pink info box, and then it loads right here. It's a sales framework we use to understand our customers and help them unlock growth. It's an acronym that stands for ... And then I've got a link to the whole white paper by Winning by Design, hosted on SPICED as well. If that link ever changes, I've still got access to it here. And I can also load it in the sidebar if I want a little more breathing room, I guess reading room works too. And this is searchable too. So anytime that the phrase SPICED framework is showing up in HubSpot for us, this is going to show up. And if someone's on another page in HubSpot, but they look it up, they can find it by searching through the SPICED base. Keen observers, there's one thing that you might also notice, which is that there is a little error box up here. And it explains what SPICED is, and it shows that the SPICED properties are empty. And this is not standard for HubSpot. This is something that SPICED is bringing in. And so let's go through here and fill something out. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Because I was the problem. I'm the reason why we didn't adopt process for a good framework. We left money on the table. We didn't close some deals as well as we could. Sales process matters. You can build all the lists you want, but if you're not closing the deals well, it doesn't really matter. Let's hit save here and see what happens. It says changes saved. I'm going to give this a second. And what I might do too, just for the sake of, I don't know how quickly this loads and reloads, I'm going to give this just a quick refresh and make sure everything's saved the right way. Okay, you can see that it's now complete. And the way I can talk more about process rules, if you're interested, let me know. I set up a warning when they're incomplete, and then a positive green sort of celebration, yay, when it's complete. So now for me, when I'm going through working on deals, looking at deals, maybe updating HubSpot team, because I do a lot of shared selling and co-selling with HubSpot, I can flag and see what's going on with the deals. So really, really fired up about this. I've also just been getting really good results with SPICED. I've been doing a lot better discovery. Another feature I'll just say that I've been using within HubSpot is snippets. Within HubSpot, you can also use basically snippets of text, and I've allowed that to be my discovery agenda. So I'll pull up a deal, I'll open up a note, I'll use a snippet in HubSpot, and I've got all my discovery questions right there. I work down the list. As I get that clarity, I'll pop them over into the spiced deal properties. And then once they're complete, I get the green box at the top. I'm really excited about this. I think it's really important. I'm really curious if folks are doing anything similar, if they've tried out Super before. I think it's going to be a huge value add. And this is something that we're rolling out not only for ourselves, but also for our customers. And let me know what you think. Appreciate you watching and have a good day.